What's up, man?
What's up?
So, do you think Trump is terrible?
No.
No. Do you think that if I could prove to you, like, obscene amounts of corruption out of the Trump administration, that you would agree with me that he's a terrible president?
If you could show that there is a difference
Wait,
between
wait,
that.
wait. Let's not script bro. I'm not script broing here, right? This is just like a provable
Well, you
fact,
asked
right?
me a
Like Donald.
question, I'm going to give you an answer, right? That's how
Okay,
that
go ahead.
goes, right? So if you could show me a delineation between Trump and his administration and others, then I will agree with you.
But in other what does other administrations matter to this?
Because you're singling out one, which would imply that one is better than the other.
No,
Because you're not
Trump and
saying
Biden could both be terrible. I'm just talking about Trump right now
why.
because Trump's the president of the United States right now and the most powerful person in the world. So I think it's relevant to talk about if he's being terrible.
So the past 4 years don't matter?
I didn't say they don't matter. I said that this is more relevant event to talk about currently.
Okay, well tell me how he's terrible.
Absolutely. So Donald Trump did a corrupt quid pro quo with the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, where in exchange for dismissing an indictment against Eric Adams for wire fraud and bribery, Eric Adams would do immigration favors for him in New York. I think that's totally corrupt. I think it's somebody who promised to go into to drain the swamp and get corruption out of the United States government, that him then actively engaging it makes him a pretty terrible president.
Okay.
Anything to say that?
So repeat what you just said again, just so I have it clear.
Bro. Yeah, so Donald Trump did a corrupt quid pro quo. So quid pro quo, right, means a favor for a favor.
Right.
So the favor was Eric Adams was being indicted at the time on charges of bribery, right, and wire fraud. And the favor was, we're going to dismiss this indictment, right, if you do immigration favors for us in New York. And that ended up being local police working with like ICE agents to do immigration raids in New York, among other things.
So you're against, or rather, you're for illegal immigration?
No, I'm against the president of the United States prioritizing his own personal political agenda over getting potentially corrupt politicians out of office and in jail.
So you're conflating two different things. If you have an issue with
No,
Eric Adams, well, can I finish? Or so if you have an issue with Eric Adams, that would be separate than Trump doing a quote unquote backdoor deal to have ICE in New York to address an issue that you agree is an issue, which is illegal immigration.
no, they're both relevant. So,
Okay,
in
so
the
how?
memo to the Southern District of New York, that the Deputy Attorney General sent, telling them to dismiss the Eric Adams indictment, and why they specifically cite because it's restricting Eric Adams' ability to enforce Donald Trump's immigration agenda. So these aren't two separate issues. These two issues aren't entangled with each other, right? This
So
is why
does
it's a
does New
quid pro
York
quo.
have an
But
immigration
but
issue?
before I first, would you agree with me that a politician shouldn't prioritize his own personal political agenda for the country over getting potentially corrupt politicians out of office?
Yeah, I don't think anything that you just said is corrupt, and I'll explain
Can you answer that
why.
question?
I just answered your question.
No, you didn't.
I just said I don't think
What
that's
was
corrupt.
what,
You didn't
what was my
listen.
question?
You asked me, do I have an issue with somebody taking or using the political process to do their personal bidding or whatever to keep somebody that's corrupt in office? That's what you asked me,
No,
and
that's
I'm
not what I
ta-
asked you. I said, do you
that.
think that it is acceptable for a
Yes, I
politician or
do.
president?
So I'm going to
You
tell you
do.
why.
So
So
if Joe,
why
so
would
do
you
you think
ask me a
it would
question
you
if you
wait?
don't
Just
want
give,
me to finish
wait, no,
answering
no,
it?
just hypothetical, right? If Joe Biden, right, said, okay, Donald Trump in New York and in the country as a whole, in New York specifically, has been attacking LGBTQ IA plus people, right? I think this is bad. And at the time, Eric Adams was being indicted on charges of wire fraud and bribery, and it's restricting Eric Adams' ability to implement specific policies that would be pro LGBTQIA plus in New York that Biden
So
want to
now we're
implement.
gonna make a.
And Biden dismissed the
So
charges,
just
right?
yelling doesn't make you right,
And
right?
Biden dismissed the charges so Eric Adams could do his political bidding. Do you think that that would be a corrupt
So
action by the Biden
do you
administration?
want me to answer or do you want to talk over
Yes,
me?
I want you to answer.
Okay, so are you reading off a screen right now, or is
I'm
it?
not reading off the screen. I want you to answer the hypothetical.
Okay, so that hypothetical makes no sense. We're going to conflate illegal immigration with people's sexuality and identity. So
No,
that's literally what you just did. You said
what are
hypothetically, if this was an LGBTQIA agenda issue, would I be okay with it? When you just compared it to a immigration
mhm.
issue, so you're conflating immigration with LGBTQIA to push an agenda.
What are
Because
the
if I,
two? What are the
so
two
I'm going to
qualities that I'm?
answer.
What are okay?
Can I
What are the
answer
two
your first
qualities I'm?
question?
What are the two qualities I'm comparing?
I
Right?
get
Because
y'all
you're
trying to do
really.
the
I
little
know
jubilee
you're having a very,
thing.
very hard time tracking the conversation
Okay,
right
I
now.
get you're trying
So
to
let
do the
me.
jubilee
No,
thing, but
no,
let me
dude. I
answer
just
your
need to. I
first
need to
question.
explain. I need to explain it to you because you didn't
No, you
understand,
don't.
right?
I'm going
So
to
the two
answer your first
qualities. The two
question.
qualities I'm comparing are
Okay.
one, a president's own personal political agenda when it comes to what he wants for the country. So that for Trump,
And what
that's
did he
immigration.
want?
For Biden, for in the hypothetical for
No,
Biden,
what
that's
did he
LGBTQ.
want?
That's LGBTQI plus. What did he? What did he
Stop
want? He
stumbling.
wanted
What
state.
did
He
he
wanted. He
want?
wanted local. He wanted local and federal. He wanted local police to work with like ICE to like help in ICE
And you
deportation
have a
rates. Right.
problem with that?
Wait, dude, I have a problem with him doing that by subverting the justice system for potentially corrupt politicians. That's what I have a problem with,
So you
right?
have an
So
issue with him?
wait. I need to explain to you. So the two
You don't
qualities
need
are.
to
Give me
explain.
a
You
sec.
have
Give me
to.
no,
This
no.
isn't a
I need to keep
conversation.
talking because you didn't understand the original
I
hypothetical.
understood exactly what you said,
No,
sir.
you didn't understand what I said because you completely missed it, right? So the two
No.
qualities I'm comparing is one, a politician's personal political agenda. For Trump in the hypothetical, that's immigration, right? For Biden in the hypothetical, it's LGBTQIA plus,
So
like
do we want to talk about
pro policies
hypotheticals,
in New
or do we
York,
want to talk
right? And then
about things that
prioritizing
actually
that
happened?
over the justice system.
Do we want to
So
talk
do you
about
understand why the hypothetical
hypotheticals?
is valid now? Huh?
Hypotheticals are things that actually happened. Which one is more important?
It's not true.
What
I'm
is
trying to
not
test your
true?
principle. A hypothetical tests a possible world. So basically,
So you're
like
telling me answering his
in a possible world.
hypothetical means more than addressing something that really happened, which is Trump
Correct.
sending ICE
Yeah,
and the National
you're
Guard,
just saying
right?
like yeah. Basically, what you're saying is like if this was the case in a possible world, what would you do this or would
So
this be bad or would this
a
be good?
hypothetical means more than an actual situation that we could actually talk about.
Yes. Well,
How?
it means
Explain
a
that to me.
possible situation. A hypothetical doesn't mean more. I'm trying to test your principle.
Okay, I'm gonna
What I'm
show
trying
you
to
how
do.
this
What I'm trying to
logic
do is.
falls,
So
but
if
you
there's
guys
a
don't let people
situation,
finish.
there's a
You don't
situation
let people
where Biden.
finish.
I'm trying.
Can
My
I
base
can
is
I
saying.
finish talking to him, sir? Because I want to address what he just said. I get you want to talk over people to make it seem like you're winning the debate, but that's not how a conversation goes. You make a point or you ask a question, I retort or I ask for clarification. That's how a real debate goes. So, sir, using your logic that a hypothetical is just as relevant than a actual situation. Racists will use the argument that hypothetically
No,
black people.
no,
Can I
bro.
finish?
Okay,
Can I
I'm sorry.
finish?
Excuse me. No,
Can I
wait. Can you
finish?
answer? Wait, no, you
I'm
can't. You have
answering
to
your
answer.
question.
No, you have to answer the hypothetical.
I'm showing how your hypothetical doesn't make sense.
How is it not make sense? What's a assumption breaker?
Do you want me to answer or do you want to keep talking over?
Just let me answer. Whatever. Let me
Okay,
answer.
so racists will use the argument that hypothetically a black person in a position of power could enforce oppressive legislation against white people. Hypothetically, they say that. But realistically, we know that has happened to who? By who? White people on the black people. So does it make sense for me to opine and pontificate about a hypothetical that didn't happen versus something that actually is happening and
Yeah,
having
these
real world results?
these two things aren't like analogous, right? In one situation, I'm trying to test your principle
How are
over
they
if the
not
Biden. Wait,
analogous?
I'm okay. So
Because they're
what were
both
you talking about earlier?
hypotheticals.
What were you talking about earlier about letting people finish?
Okay, but tell me how they're
Okay,
not
yeah, I figured out. Like,
analogous.
don't get on us about that if you're not going to do the exact
Go
same thing,
ahead,
right?
sir.
So yeah. So the reason these aren't analogous is because in one situation, I'm trying to like actually know if you actually believe that a politician prioritizing his personal political agenda over the justice system and getting potentially corrupt politicians out of office is something that you would allow if the Biden administration was doing it. And the other thing, they're just making random assumptions without any actual evidence. I'm testing an underlying principle that you have.
So
So
again, do you want me to answer your question? Or do you
there
want me
wasn't a
to
question there.
retort
There's
with
just a
what you're
statement.
talking about?
Go ahead.
So, what was the end goal of him doing that? What was the accomplishment they were trying to get?
The end goal there, right, was wait, that wasn't actually a response to what I said, but
Yes,
okay.
it was. You said that he
No, no,
basically
no. You have to answer the hypothetical
he
now.
circumvented the Justice
No,
Department.
scratch. Don't scratch.
He circumvented the
Don't slime a
Justice.
fucking way. No,
So
you have to answer hypothetical now. So,
because
yes.
this is a question about if what he did was wrong or not.
No. Okay. Okay. Scratch
So
it.
I'm
Ask the
asking you.
hypothetical. Ask the hypothetical again.
I'm not, sir. Can I
Whatever
respond to
that
what he
original
just
one. Ask
said?
it. Just
Can I
yeah.
just?
Go ahead.
I get
Yeah.
y'all
Go
are
ahead.
reading up. So
Actually,
again,
can you actually respond? Yeah.
what you're saying is, do I have an issue with him circumventing the Justice Department to push a political agenda? That's what you're ultimately asking me, correct?
Yes.
So again, in order for me to determine how I feel about that, you need to tell me what was the end goal and the purpose of him doing it. Was the purpose wrong, or him just circumventing the Justice Department wrong?
Circumventing the justice system wrong, right? Because
Even though you
this is
agree.
something. This is some. Well, sorry, you're correct. The
Okay.
action it's just give me a second. The action itself doesn't, or the end goal itself doesn't matter. It's the actions that matter in this situation, right? I think procedure or the procedure matters, right?
So even-
well, that's
okay,
why
go
that
ahead.
wait. Just give me a second. Just give me a second, right? I think we would all say it's probably we shouldn't set a precedent, right? Where the president of the United States is at will deciding if certain indictments are going to happen based on if it's politically advantageous to getting his policies through. That's probably not something we want to happen.
So again, wouldn't it depend on what they're trying to get through? So when we look
No, it
at
doesn't
New
depend.
York, can I finish?
Because that's just a precedent
Can I
we don't want to
finish?
set in the first place.
Do y'all really want to have a conversation, or y'all want this to be like Jubilee? So again, when we look at New York, we can look at all of the Fox News, or rather News 5 in New York, that talked about the housing crisis in New York due to the high number of migration people, right?
Migration people, Drew. Yeah.
Yeah, the people that were migrating here, the people that claimed asylum, and the illegal immigrants. That displaced a lot of who? Black people. In New York, about almost 30% are at or below the poverty line. Fox 5 in New York has entire segments talking about how even in the food lines, the food pantries, the clothing closets, etc., those scarce resources are being extracted to help who? The migrants, the refugees, the illegal immigrants. There's even news reports on how they're getting free apartment housing.
You're just ranting.
I'm not
okay, so
okay,
again, wait,
so
again,
you- so
again,
you don't
okay,
care
wait,
about
again.
black
So the
people in
issue,
New
okay,
York.
we're not asking you whether the end goal
So,
here is
yeah,
good or bad.
so I
we're
don't
asking
care.
what we're
I
asking.
don't care
Again,
about-
what we're
I'm
asking.
answering
Wait,
your
again,
question.
no, again, what we're asking you.
You didn't know about what I
is
just
the
told you in New
violation.
York.
No, is the violation of procedural rules and the dismissal of
I don't have an issue
indictments
with
on a
it.
corrupt
I just told you I
politician.
don't have an issue with it.
You
And
don't.
I told you why.
Wait, okay, so ask the Biden hypothetical now. No, I'm not going to ask it. I'm just going to ask this question. Do you
So
think
do
it's a
you
bad
have an issue?
Do you
Do
think
you have an
just
issue
no, just
with
give me a
Peter
sec. No,
cursing out?
do you think it is a good precedent to set where we have individual presidents dismissing indictments?
Dismissing an
if
indictment?
dismissing indictments if those indictments are disadvantageous to their political agenda. Do you think that is a good or bad precedent to set for the United States?
It depends on the situation. I just told you that.
I'm saying in general. Do you think that is a precedent that we should set?
Sir, you can't say in general because it could be for a nefarious reason. In this instance, I don't have an issue
always
with it because
nefarious.
I don't have an issue with the immigration policy. I have an issue with the optics of it. But do you know who Peter Kirsanow is?
Yeah, you just don't. Okay, well then just ask the. No, there's no Biden hypothetical. Because what he's saying is, I'm okay with Trump doing corrupt actions.
Sir,
which is
I said
basically,
anybody. I didn't say just
no,
Trump.
no. What you're saying is, I'm okay with Donald Trump doing corrupt political actions, right? Which is in this case, dismissing an indictment against Eric
reading?
Adams, who potentially. I'm not reading anything.
Both of y'all are reading.
I'm not reading. I'm looking at games, right? Who was potentially doing corrupt political actions, which include bribery and wire fraud from Turkish officials. Because I like his political agenda that he's pushing by doing that. That's what we're saying. So in fact, you're endorsing corruption from the Trump administration. Your entire position is if corruption is pushing my political agenda that I agree with, then it's a good thing. That's disgusting.
Okay, so again, what did Peter Kirsanow and other professors and researchers say in 2016 when they testified in front of that 2016 Senate committee about illegal immigration and how it negatively affected the black community's job prospects going back to the 60s?
Okay, so
now, hold on,
sir. You're not tracking. You're not tracking the convo. You're literally not tracking the convo.
The conversation is about immigration.
We're not talking about migration.
Yes, we are. He just talked about ICE. What is ICE doing, sir?
Wait, ice is what I put in my drink earlier.
You
wait,
said
do you think?
Stop
do you
playing
think?
around.
Wait,
you talked about.
There's ice
you talked
melting
about
at the
Trump
polar caps right now.
usurping
Wait, no. You said ice. You said ice. We're talking about ice now. There's ice melting at the polar caps. It's causing climate
enforcement.
change.
That's ice.
That's a good. This is every single Trump supporter when they do a pivot. Well, you said this one word. Like, no shit. There's a broader subject. Please take into context the rest of the word I said. So, what was my point I made just 2 seconds earlier?
So how does me bringing up ICE when you brought it up to say that Trump went behind the Justice Department's back to do a favor to Eric Adams because Eric Adams was going to go along with his immigration policy to bring more ICE and National Guard to New York? We're talking about immigration.
Because the point that I'm making is that
if
Trump
you
is
don't
doing,
know who Peter Kirsanow is,
the point I made right earlier was that you don't actually care about if a politician is doing corrupt actions. You just care if those corrupt actions benefit the political agenda that you agree with. So, for instance, if Trump was to take if Trump was like bribing certain politicians with U.S. tax dollars to do more immigration enforcement along the border,
That's a
you'd say
false
that's a
equivalency.
good thing.
That's
Huh?
breaking the law,
You would
sir.
say that's a good.
That's
You would say
false
that's a good thing.
equivalency.
You wait, give me a sec. You'd say that's a good thing because even though it's a corrupt act, you think that the end outcome of those actions are good,
Okay,
right?
so
So what
show
I'm
me
saying is
how
that
he
you.
was
So I said you don't actually care about corruption. You just care about the end goal of what that
Is your definition
corruption
corruption
does.
something you disagree with, or what the Supreme Court said is corruption? What did the court say
Huh?
about what he
No
did?
corruption.
What
No
did the
corruption
court
is
say is what I'm asking you.
corruption is illegal or dishonest behavior done by a politician for his personal benefit
Or abuse of power.
And is that what the Supreme Court said?
or for
Is that what the
benefit.
Supreme Court said about this?
But I don't think there's a like specific legal definition. No, the Supreme Court didn't
Okay,
rule
so
on
how
this.
did he break the law?
I didn't say you break the law. I said this is a dishonest action.
Based on what? Your opinion?
Do you think corruption has to be illegal?
It doesn't have to be illegal, but you said it has to.
Okay, so I don't know why
hold on, sir.
I don't know we're going by legal
You
standards
said
here.
if they break
I'm
the
not making
law,
it.
you said if they break the law or they do something immoral. So we just validated he didn't break the law.
No, I said
Sir,
dishonest.
can I finish?
No.
Okay, so dishonest.
That's not what I said.
Okay.
I said dishonest. I said
Can I
dishonest or
finish?
illegal action. It's dishonest. Give me a sec. It's dishonest of a politician instead of continuing an indictment against a politician who is potentially corrupt, doing wire fraud and bribery, like specifically bribes from Turkish officials
found guilty
to
of
subvert
this?
to subvert
Was he
that for his
found
own
guilty?
personal political agenda.
Was he found guilty? Did you see the evidence? Because Eric
No, he
Adams
wasn't.
denied
No.
everything, right?
He wasn't found guilty. That wasn't never my
Okay,
claim.
so he wasn't found guilty and he denied everything that he was accused of, correct?
Yeah, I said. Yeah, of course. That's what anybody's going to do.
Okay,
is pleading not
so
guilty.
you're making an assumption based off something
I'm
you
not
don't
making
have
an assumption. I said
Sir,
potentially. No, I said
potentially
potentially.
means you don't know.
Yes.
So
We
you're
don't
making
quite
the
know.
argument that what Trump did is immoral because hypothetically Eric Adams might have did something you don't have evidence he did.
Well, for one, if there's an ongoing court trial for Jeffrey Dahmer, and then
That's a false
the
equivalency.
government, wait, give me a second, for Jeffrey Dahmer, right? And he's pleading not guilty, right? And somebody steps in the governor of the state steps in and says, "Okay, I'm dismissing this case because Jeffrey Dahmer said he's going to give me like $2 million. And then I say, "Okay, that's probably not good. We should let the justice system finish out." We're like, "Well, he's potentially corrupt. He's potentially guilty of
Yeah,
murder.
that's
We
a
don't
false
actually know if he's guilty of murder."
equivalency. You're
That's not a
talking
false
about
equivalency.
it is because
I'm-
you're talking about a judge openly taking a $2 million bribe from somebody he's trying. First of all, he would
No,
go to
I said
prison.
that's not what I said at all.
That's
No.
literally what you. So you didn't
Okay,
say
wait,
$2 million
actually,
I said
bribe.
the governor of the state
I'll just ask it. If Trump violated the Second, Fifth, and let's just say 25th Amendment to engage in mass deportations, would you be okay with that?
Prove that he did.
I'm just asking if he did.
If
would
you can
be
show me
okay
that he
with it?
did, because I heard that talking point before.
I asked you if he did that.
You're
would
gonna
you
have
be
to-
I
okay
said
with that?
if
This is
you
an
can
off
show
topic.
me that he did.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. I asked you if this happened, would you be okay with it?
Didn't I just say if you can show me that he did?
Okay,
Okay, it's called okay. In a possible world, if Trump did this, would you be okay with it?
Why don't y'all have actual examples? Your entire argument
Okay,
is
so
based
yeah,
off
okay,
if.
so he's legitimately just like refusing. You're not honestly engaging with the conversation.
I'm engaging,
You're
you
not
just
able
don't
to.
like my
You're not
answer.
able to track the convo. You've
You
multiple
can't even
times
give me the
dodged.
evidence.
You've multiple times dodged like basic questions.
You guys can't
I don't
even
really
give
want
me
to
the
continue this
evidence.
conversation with you. I mean, unless you answer. I mean, this conversation isn't going anywhere until you answer my
So
question.
explain
Like,
to me-
quite simply, sir. It's not
Okay,
going
so
anywhere.
explain to me
So
how
I
I'm
think-
being disingenuous,
I think
but
it's this- I think it's-
you want me to answer a question based off some evidence you don't have, based off a decision that has
it's not
never
that there's
happened.
no evidence, sir.
Sir,
It's not there's no evidence.
Your entire argument.
Sorry, just real quick. I just want to clarify.
Can I finish talking, sir? Your
I'm
entire
gonna respond.
argument is predicated on Eric Adams violating state and federal laws, right? And you're saying
Federal.
Trump is going to dismiss this because Eric Adams is going to follow his immigration policy. But you just admitted in this live there has not been a decision on either of those.
Oh my gosh.
You don't
Okay,
know
wait,
the
again,
evidence.
this conversation is not moving
No,
forward.
you just don't have
until
enough
you answer
knowledge
my
about
question.
the
I
topic,
need to get to
sir.
this point.
You have
So-
talking points that you're reading off your screen.
So the reason I said, and I said this from the start, potentially corrupt politicians, right? And I always said
Potentially.
potentially corrupt politicians.
Based on
is
what?
Because we should let Yeah, but you can read the indictment. You can see the pictures. He was taking specifically bribes through.
Does an indictment mean convicted?
Huh? Indictment doesn't be convicted, but there is evidence
So,
for this. So I'm saying,
what
wait,
is
wait,
the
wait. Do you think it's
evidence?
wait? Give me a second. Give me a second. Do you think it's dishonest actions by like a governor or a president if they dismiss an indictment or charge against somebody
If somebody is found
when there's good
guilty,
evidence? Give me a
I'm
second.
going to
Give me a
answer
second.
your
No,
question.
no,
If
I'm
somebody
not. I
is
haven't finished
found
my
guilty
question.
of those
I haven't answered
crimes,
my question.
and the
I haven't answered
president,
I haven't finished my question.
I know
have
what
not
your
finished my
question is, sir.
That's not my question because you're not answering correctly. So please engage, right? If somebody, right, if there's good evidence
y'all
to say
vote?
that they might have potentially committed a crime and are currently under litigation to see if they have committed that crime, do you think that it's dishonest action by a governor or president to step in and dismiss that case because that case is disadvantageous to their political agenda?
No, I do not. So answer this question. Why would the Constitution give the president that type of power if it was immoral? You have an issue with the Constitution?
Constitution doesn't give the president that power.
So what does? The Supreme Court?
It'd be like our legislation through.
The Constitution is legislation, sir.
It'd be legislation written through Congress that's prescribed under the Constitution.
The Constitution just sets certain limits for what it thinks might be like the most egregious things. For instance, under the Constitution,
Can you
the
answer the
president
question?
huh?
Can you answer the question? Why would the president even have that type of power if it was that immoral?
The reason the president might have has that type of power is in case the president thinks that there's a certain person who was maybe like unfairly charged, or think like the charges that Congress made were bad. There could be a multitude of reasons.
So did Trump say that?
No.
What did he
Trump
say?
The case got dismissed.
Why did he dismiss it? What did
They
he
dismissed
personally
it because
say?
it's disadvantageous to their political agenda. But once it,
So you're telling me he said that?
they said what?
That I'm dismissing the case against Eric Adams because it's disadvantageous to my political agenda.
But that's what the memo from the deputy AG.
I'm asking you what Trump said
said.
he did it for.
Well, Trump didn't directly say that, but but the Attorney General, the memo to the Senator's office in New York to dismiss the charges. That's what the memo said.
So you're basing that off somebody else's opinion, not what Trump said.
Well, that person is under Trump's control.
So
a
you're
deputy AG.
basing your assumption off what somebody said, not what Trump actually said. That's exactly what you're doing. So again, answer this question. If it's immoral, what are you doing to get that power removed from the presidency?
Scratch, I'm taking this combo over.
Even to Trump literally, Trump did tell like Pam Bondi about this. Pam Bondi ordered like the Emil Ibov, the deputy AG, to dismiss the case. The deputy AG sent a memo to Senator's New York office to dismiss the case, and in that memo they cite specifically why they're dismissing it, and they cite Trump's executive orders. And then we also have Tom Homan. So this is like these are multiple executive branches like working together, who then like goes on an interview with Eric Adams to coordinate the implementation of these policies.
What was the evidence?
I'm literally giving the evidence.
That's not the evidence. You're telling
So
me
wait,
you're telling me how the procedure went with them dismissing the case. That's not the evidence.
Yes, the evidence is the memo that they sent to the Southern District Office in New York
To do what?
to dismiss the case.
That's
because
what I
it's
just
interfering
said,
with
genius.
Trump's immigration agenda.
Sir, you're proving my point. The memo was to
How?
dismiss the case. I asked you for the evidence against Eric Adams. Those are two different things.
The evidence
He's
is
not tracking, dude.
Okay,
No,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
not tracking. You just
Okay, wait. Okay, this conversation isn't.
No, you guys just don't know enough about the conversation.
No. In a possible. Okay, I'm just gonna ask you a question. In a possible world, if Trump violated like 5 amendments to engage in mass deportation, would you agree with that? Would you agree with that action?
If you can show me that he did.
So, okay, this conversation isn't moving forward until you answer that hypothetical.
Sir, I just answered your question. If you can show me that he violated
Okay, that's
those
gonna be dodge
amendments.
number 1, moving on to try number 2.
Okay. You just don't like the answer. I said
It's
if
gonna
you
be
can
dodge
show
number 2, moving on to try number 3.
Okay, go ahead.
If Trump
Okay,
murdered 30 people, would that be bad?
Are you serious right now?
Okay, yeah.
If Trump murdered 30 people, would that be bad? Can you answer that question?
So we went from
If Trump murdered 30 people, would that be bad? Can you answer that question?
If Trump personally unalives people
Trump
for no
murdered 30
reason,
people,
yes,
would
that
that
would
be
be
bad?
bad. So can I finish talking now?
So if Trump violated
Can I-
5 amendments, would that be bad?
Do y'all really want to have a conversation or y'all just want to talk over? So again,
Okay, you know what? So that's gonna be dodge like 6 or 7.
I just
so get the
answered
fuck
your
off my
question.
channel.
What are you talking about?
No, that's gonna be dodge 6 or 7. Get the fuck off.
What are you talking
That's
about?
gonna be dot 6 or 7. Get the fuck off my panel, bro. Yeah, that's alright. Get the fuck off here. You can't just say yes or no. Oh, it's actually